All right. Thank you so very much for coming back on a Tuesday night. We're about to get started here on the Audible, the official Redskins podcast of Hogs Haven. Can you give us a look checker, Kev?
A look checker?
Yeah, can you be our look checker?
This is my. Hold on, I just
For
got
a
my.
second there,
He has like
I
10
didn't
he
hear
has-
any music.
my
I'm like, that was
snips.
the worst opening
I
Kent
know.
ever had.
No, because that wasn't an opening. Well, I wasn't opening anything.
Hey, all.
I was more rapping. than
Sorry to
opening.
all you that came in last week to tune in and saw a hell of
Welcome
a
back.
basketball.
We
hell of a-
appreciate
Well,
it.
no, they saw a hell of a basketball game if they stayed on. But we can't do two things at one time.
No, and we got to do. If someone is already watching, James or somebody, can you tweet at Hogs Haven? Can someone tweet at Hogs Haven that we're live right this very second? I'm going to be putting the show up on Hogs Haven, but putting it up live on Hogs Haven didn't seem to be as effective, should I say? Let's get started here because we haven't talked Redskins in a couple weeks, and I kind of missed it.
Me too, man.
All right, let's do this. Do good work. Real deal.
Later, real
Peace
deal.
out, Matt Seal. Good to see you, brother.
Sorry you're leaving. Shouldn't. You're off tomorrow.
He's gonna talk so much shit when you close that door.
You're off tomorrow.
Oh, you got a last.
not?
He's not. If you haven't gotten your day off, if you haven't
I got
gotten your
my
day off
day
yet,
off.
he's already gotten his day
I
off.
got my day off.
I got my day off.
A bunch of people have their day off yet. Apparently, Real Deal Seal is not yet canceled, but he's waiting, updating his browser by the second.
That's right. You're Congress.
All right,
You're
here we go.
different.
Good evening, Congressman.
Snow day.
It's Tuesday night. Basement Podcast Studios of First Amendment Sports. I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Tim Strachan.
Man, oh man, it might be the off season, but we have plenty to talk about. And we have a snow day tomorrow, boys.
We're coming up on a snow day. He's Kevin Ricka.
This snow day has turned into something big. Here tonight, I can feel it.
I'm
it's
thinking
be
about going
kickstarted
penguin
with
sledding tomorrow.
I like the
No.
idea of a
Thinking
snow
about
day
it.
show
I'm thinking about
theme
doing it.
with you here, because usually
Love
if there's snow out back, you don't come because
It's true.
your chair hasn't been outfitted
It's
yet
true.
for the backyard.
Yeah, I don't have
in snowy
chains on it or
conditions.
tracks or anything like that.
We're working on it.
Can we do that?
Yeah, we
could
can.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
We have
Oh, yeah.
money. Money's usually the thing that solves everything.
Is there a chain link sponsor out there that wants to help us traverse the backyard?
I mean, they have
Gently
this.
traverse.
They do have a wheelchair that is got the tank tires.
treads.
No, I mean like
Like the
yeah,
treads.
literally, yeah.
Like the
tank
Johnny
treads.
Five ones?
It's in a triangle, and
Yeah.
it's the tread. Dude, it's amazing, but it's like
Yeah.
$100 million.
Money again.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
money,
If you
money.
see, you just want to like rocket launcher.
People use it to
one
go
of those,
hunting and all that
the
kinds of stuff.
treads.
It's ridiculous. Go look it up on YouTube. It's unbelievable.
That's sick.
If you're into like wheelchair videos.
I know you're not a big hunter. I'm not a big
Do
hunter
not.
gatherer myself.
I don't want any more of your Google search history.
I know.
You can leave it there. We'll talk
Delete,
about
delete,
it later. It's
delete.
a
I'm not a
separate show.
wheelchair Googler or YouTuber either. But if you want to do it, go ahead.
I've dabbled.
I mean, this isn't Wednesday, guys. This is Tuesday. That's a whole separate show.
Due to
which we do
business
every Wednesday.
partnerships, for God's
Yes,
sake. This
yes.
is work.
What are we going to talk about on Wednesday? I don't even know anymore. Welcome to the Audible, the official Redskins podcast of Hogs Haven. This is Offseason on the Brink. Hold on, let's make sure all our phones are pulled out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on now.
We're good.
Sorry.
We're good.
It was the
doesn't-
snow day wheelchair accessible stuff got me all riled up.
It did. I was getting a little riled. I think that's the right word.
Hunting.
We're going forward. It's the middle of February, a month till free agency starts. March 13th, NFL free agency kicks off. The Redskins won't have a ton of money, but they will have some. The draft is late April 25th. We got a long ways to go before then. But the one thing we know about the Redskins, and where I thought we would spend a little bit of the heart of this show around, is the idea of we're a little bit effed at the quarterback spot.
A little bit.
And that means we head into this offseason
At
looking
least
to cure
this
that.
time we know it going
Exactly.
into the season.
That's it. You don't want to say, well, what
Most times we don't,
what
or
are you
at least
talking
don't
about?
realize it or don't want to, but now we know it.
our quarterback has one leg. We're going to talk about it.
It's merely a spiral fracture. It's merely the kind that when you twist it around, it breaks. That's the worst.
Yes. I hope. Okay, so I know not everybody watches our podcast. I wouldn't be so vain as to think that they did, although I think that they
If
should.
they're watching it now, they've definitely watched it.
If they're watching it now, you've definitely watched it. If you read
If
me
you're
on
running
Hogs
somebody
Haven,
who doesn't, tell them to watch it.
yeah, tell them to watch it. Because when I say things like I said today, and I've repeated a couple different times, and I'll keep on it, Because after all, Alex Smith will be our starter in 2020. I'm telling you guys, get used to that. That's going to be a
where
refrain.
we're going. I need a refresher on this one.
It's going to be. We're going to be sold this in bucket form, pretzel barrel form, even.
Ooh.
And I will tell you that the Redskins right now are going to be trying their hardest to convince themselves and us that Alex Smith will be our starter in 2020, and that it's somehow going to shape our decision-making process. I'm going to argue that it doesn't and shouldn't. We have a quarterback decision to address. That's the funnest thing to talk about in any team's offseason. Well, except for if you have a Hall of Fame quarterback as your current quarterback. But outside of that, addressing a quarterback scenario.
This is about as fun as an arranged marriage.
Yes. Well, it's going to be very much like that. Let's cover some real specifics here up top, guys. Alex Smith owed $40 to $51 million. Which is you're checking his contract.
Is that
right now.
You got the calculator out? That's what you're making sure
out right now.
Okay, all right.
Where he's owed $51 million. I think there's a possibility that at the end of the day he could cost us as little as $40 million. But he's not going anywhere because if we were to let him go, if he were to retire, if he were to be teleported off this planet and no one knew where he was, it wouldn't matter. We would owe him a buttload of money and it would be terrible. Some people say, rip the Band-Aid off, cut him now, take the $40+ million hit.
The nuclear option.
We're going to assume that that's not going to be the Redskins' course of action. And I'll just say, I think the trump card to the nuclear option
would be the Redskins' luck to cut him, and then in 2020 he is playing for somebody else.
For somebody great. But the whole purpose,
doing something good.
The reason why it's stupid to consider cutting him and taking the $40 million payday or hit on the salary cap is because if you want a $40 million cap hit at the quarterback position, that is still achievable without cutting Alex Smith, because you could pay Alex Smith his $20+ million this year. And you could go out there and sign someone for $22, $23 million on a 1 or 2 year deal.
Like that Monopoly money that we supposedly were going to try and get Flacco with?
Where is this?
So the Redskins are actively involved
in getting
a quarterback.
Money or math, but even I can.
Well,
figure out,
he was on the books for
really
18,
doable.
right? 18 you're talking about Flacco now?
Anybody.
So it is doable. The Flacco deal is interesting because the way that the contract was split up, I think Flacco's the money he has coming to him, I believe, is somewhere around $18 million from Denver.
No, that's it.
I think so, and I don't know that he has any more guaranteed money, although he has more contractual years.
Okay.
And maybe I'm dead wrong on that, but that's the way I think that I heard it. The Redskins being actively involved in the Joe Flacco situation makes the most sense because, and guys, jump in here, but I'll give it to you guys on this. I think we're trying to get there in the short term with a guy with a collection of 1 or 2 guys, maybe 3 that can play if we need them to, but also to give us flexibility in 2 or 3 years when the Alex Smith era will be officially over by one way or another, whether he never plays again, which Kevin you say and I agree with.
I can't believe there's a damn chance in hell
that
man ever puts a helmet on his head.
I agree
one more
with that.
time.
I agree with that, and
No
go to
offense
work.
to him, but
To
yeah,
go to
you're right.
I can't imagine it.
It's very likely.
I think we would all. So we're all probably agreeing there. And just so you guys know, even though we all agree he's never playing again, our salary cap situation and our quarterback position is still.
It doesn't change.
No, it does. Our salary cap position is still in place for the next 2 years. So
That's what I mean.
our decision right now, exactly. So our decision right now, it almost doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So. I'll kick it off to you guys. And we have 3 ways to add a quarterback, conceivably. Free agent, trade, draft. I'm making the argument that it's a buyer's market. It's the best time ever you could actually need a quarterback because there are a glut of inventory. Now, maybe it's not the best draft class. Maybe it's not the best free agent class. But there's numbers. They're not all going to get paid.
It's neither nor.
Oh, it's the unsexy quarterback classes are the Redskins' wheelhouse. Is our stock and trade.
It's 2:45 after last call has been called, and the lights are on at the bar. And you need a quarterback to get home.
Tony Banks, come on down. You're going to play for the Redskins this year. It's going to be great. Oh,
You look just like Doug Williams at happy hour.
just like Doug.
Dang it!
I mean, Todd
It's
Collins.
gross, man. I mean, let's have at it, but yeah.
Go ahead. Let's start with the free agents. So, T, to your point, We can't pay top dollar, so we can't win bidding wars. I think that takes Teddy Bridgewater out of the equation for us.
Does it?
I want to know.
What's he done?
Him and Flacco have a similar number.
What
This
has
is
he
what I
done?
do know.
He's
Because
26.
the backup to him played more in New Orleans than he did.
Well, that's a specific. That's different. You're right. But
You're right.
that guy's a freak athlete. That he was a weapon. He was like a.
I'll trade for
He's
him.
the future.
I'll trade for him.
Yeah. But they also play him at tight end on specials. He returns kicks. He's in punt block. He's in punt formation.
Even
He's
more
old, too,
reason
right?
that if I were Teddy Bridgewater, I'd
Taysom
be
Hill?
going.
Yeah, it's like 25,
Damn.
26.
Yeah.
For a guy who's on his first year in the state. Teddy Bridgewater's
Well,
26.
if you're Teddy Bridgewater in New Orleans at the same time as that guy, you're going, shit.
Right. But that was the role. The role was to spend that time under Sean Payton with Drew Brees, arguably the greatest to ever do it. I mean, he's right there. I'm not saying he is. I'm
You
saying
think
he's
Teddy
top five.
When was the last time he played a meaningful down? 3 years ago?
The only reason he's not playing is because of
I
injury.
don't know if you call it.
I know that.
Right.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying, how can he demand anything?
But
if
he's
he hasn't
26.
He hasn't played.
That's
in 3
why.
years.
I don't
He's
think
26
he
years
is.
old.
I think the market is. And there's going to be about 5 or 6 teams that are looking around.
Well, if there's a
and he
bidding
shines
war
up
for
real
him
nice.
that is huge money, then we're effed.
It's
I
going to
think
be
it will
similar
be.
to Flacco money, guys. I think that number is similar. If 18 million is what we're talking about with Flacco,
But he's owed
Spread-
28. I think his contract is
Fair
28. I
enough.
think Baltimore
Bridgewater
took
getting
10.
more than that?
Bridgewater's going to be. I think Ken thinks it's up to 20. I think it's in the 15 to 18 range.
Really?
I don't know how either.
damn.
It's because it's the same reason we watch these drafts happen. And I'm particularly low on this quarterback draft class. But we know damn well that 4 guys are going to be drafted in the first round come April. That's just the name of the game. That's what it is.
Put a pin in the draft.
Fair enough.
Because I want to talk about that.
Don't jump the gun on Ken.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yep.
It's piss poor everywhere. Let's focus on the first piss poorness.
We're making it up in volume. We're like the Costco of the situation here. So
No free
Teddy
samples.
Bridgewater, I think, is going to be too rich for our blood, but he is a guy I would love to have.
Me too.
But it ain't going to happen for dollar sign reasons.
Is he?
And so
I mean,
T,
yeah.
here's the Tim Strachan
But-
plan. If you're the Washington Redskins, the Tim Strachan plan would be to figure out a way to make Teddy Bridgewater agree to like a 2-year, $35 million deal or a 2-year, $38 million deal,
Ugh.
something which would be a terrible pill for the Redskins to swallow financially. But you get a 26 to 27-year quarterback, and you'd be paying $40+ million or $40 million a year
Ugh.
at quarterback.
Ugh.
That's the Teddy Bridgewater plan. I don't think
That ain't worth it.
it's impossible, but
And
I don't
I'm a,
think
and
you
I'm a
want
Teddy
it.
Bridgewater fan.
It would have to be heavily incentive.
I think
laden,
someone's going to give him a 4 or 5-year deal with more money.
which he's going to get a better deal somewhere else.
Yeah. But, okay, so I'll just fast forward to the free agent I think we have the best chance at. He's 36 years old. He's got a beard that I could never. I don't think I could ever make that happen.
That's why you have the beard.
Mm-hmm.
He's magical.
Like a Billy Goat.
Like a unicorn?
He's a free agent. He had a $3.3 million deal this year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He just magically ended up playing because Jameis had a kind of a busy, handsy Uber ride.
Jameis was being Jameis.
Yeah, and all of a sudden Fitzpatrick is the man in Tampa Bay. He had a great couple weeks. He had a terrible couple weeks. He bounced up and down. Jameis came back in. I think he is going to be as affordable as any 36, 37-year-old player in the league is. I think most teams see him as a backup still, which I think helps us.
Yeah, well, he is. So do 2 backups make a right?
Yes, two backups make a right. Yes, they do.
He's seen as the backup that could be your starter in a pinch, which is why he ends up on teams like the Jets and the Buccaneers and the
17.
because he's not a long-term solution at the backup
he's not.
position.
Well, he's not.
But everybody can take a shot on him. So I think actually, Ken, you might be onto something here. I personally would not advocate for it because magical or not, he's 36 years old.
He'll be 37 during the season.
Buddy, we played Mark Sanchez in snaps last year.
I mean,
I'm just,
I'll take me
right,
over
right.
Mark Sanchez.
I will
It's
too.
been a long time.
I got
I'll
you.
sign up for that
I
all
got
day.
you.
Since I've taken a snap.
For leadership qualities only,
I know
you
I won't
automatically
butt fumble.
beat him.
How about that?
And
I won't
know,
do that.
I
And I
know.
won't show up with a purse with a dog in it and a
There you go.
latte.
That's fair.
That won't happen.
That's
Don't
true.
agree to anything until we talk about it
That would
after the
never
show.
happen.
And never say never after someone gives you $5 million. You're gonna have a little dog so
I
fast.
don't know about that.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is a free agent who
Lattes
I
are
don't
delicious,
think breaks the bank. I actually think he's someone's gonna look at the contract he signs wherever it is, including if it's here, and they'll say that's too much for a 37-year-old quarterback. I think he fits our short-term plan. I think he fits our long-term plan because he ain't going to be here for the long term. And I think that if you go into the season with Ryan Fitzpatrick and Colt McCoy, I actually think you can talk yourself out of spending significant draft resources on a quarterback. Going BPA in the first, second, and third at the positions of need.
Would you give Fitzpatrick a 2-year deal?
I think I think he's going to get a 2-year deal to play. I think he's going to get a 2-year deal. I don't think it's going to break the bank.
We're going to need a
You think
backup
he's gonna
next
get a-
year.
you
Colt
think he's gonna
McCoy's only
get-
got 1 year
You
left.
think he's going to get a 2-year deal anywhere he goes?
I don't think he's going to break the bank. I think a 2-year deal is what gets him signed. Listen, the guy's an Ivy Leaguer. He just had a magical season. Even if it's not, if it's 2 years for $10 million.
You said magical about Fitzpatrick.
He had a
That's true.
magical
2 years 12,
first
2 years
quarter of the
13.
season.
I mean, you're talking, if you're giving a guy a raise from $3.5 million, you're technically asking him to come in and compete with Colt McCoy, who is, I believe, making $3 million. I think all of a sudden, you could argue that the Redskins are going to end up getting a lot of value out of their quarterback position until you also factor in the fact that they're paying $20 million to a guy with one leg. But if you take that out of the equation, they're actually getting a ton of value.
As we sit here sipping on Jameson, I can't help but imagine someone sitting back there going, "Ooh, you fucking give Fitzpatrick and McCoy the reins, and they do it tandem, and you freaking crash heads with everyone else. Why not? 3.3 million saves our ass.
Yes. I again,
Say it's 5. Say it's 5. Say there's an option for the second year.
I'd buy that.
I mean,
I think you would.
I'd buy
looking
that.
at our financial situation, the great potato famine, you had to figure out how to eat. And we're going to have to figure out how to eat. And if McCoy and Fitzpatrick have to be the guys, I think that, to me, as a realist and a
actually
minimalist, it's so much better than Josh Johnson and Mark Sanchez.
I think McCoy would be more threatened by a Fitzpatrick coming in.
He's in
here.
a contract
yes.
year. He's a baller I think a top tier backup.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we have 2 top tier backups, and I don't know how it works, but I'm just talking about health wise.
And then you get to the end of the next season, and if both of those guys are healthy, if Colt McCoy and Ryan Fitzpatrick are both healthy and they're both backup, top of the line backups. Guess
you
what?
backup?
It's a reverse bidding war. You're like, well, I can be that guy $5 million. Well, I'll take 4. Well, I'll take 3.5. Well, I'll take three and a quarter. I mean, again, now, because to me, again, talking about getting out of our quarterback quandary, we all believe Alex Smith is never coming back. Therefore, at some point in time, we have to start thinking about our quarterback of the future. I hate like hell having my hand forced and being and taking whatever quarterback falls to me at 15 overall. Ryan Fitzpatrick is probably the worst, of the guys who would take me off the quarterback at all costs draft philosophy.
I think I actually said a year ago that our quarterback of the future hasn't even hit puberty yet.
Yeah, well, no, that was like 2 or 3 years ago, and I think
I think it was
you're
last
still
year.
probably right.
I think it was last year.
So far you're right at this point.
Aside from looking like a filthy, dirty human being, I think a few might have sprouted since the last time we had that conversation.
Maybe.
Doesn't mean we're going to get him.
No, dude. Of course it does. He's our quarterback of the future.
That was the
that's the whole premise.
that was
Our
the-
quarterback
that
of the
was-
future.
That was the top.
Whoever
It's
it
a long
is.
future.
Yeah, but that's
10.
Then we've wasted 3 years on some 9-year-old.
why are we even talking about their whole pubescent journey?
It's a rowdy bunch.
For goodness
it's just a
sake.
rowdy
I
bunch.
just find this whole conversation hilarious.
You'll have
Well,
to
me
download
too.
our best
But
of the
it's-
last 3
it's-
What
years
else
to
can
get
you
all
do?
these jokes.
Yeah, listen. The issue would be Colt McCoy, but he's in a contract year. He's been here for 7 years, I believe. We can't really give Fitzmagic more money than him, can we? To come in for a 1 or 2 year deal, but
I think I don't.
we're gonna
think
have to.
Colt McCoy. First of all, Colt McCoy actually, his contract was written as such that he was been very close to triggering automatic
Exactly.
accelerators, but he got hurt. It didn't happen. I don't think he's worried about. I don't think his agent's worried about. If anyone comes in, they're going to get their market rate. We're going to attack this quarterback position. I hope if we were to get a free agent like Fitzpatrick, all of a sudden the draft becomes a whole lot more interesting. Because I don't think our hand is forced.
Hey, can I just say something real quick? Let us be fair. We just kind of went into our own little world here.
Yep.
We're not saying that Ryan Fitzpatrick is the answer to the question.
Good.
We are debating.
He is an
There's
economical.
I have 20 names
he is an-
written down
he is
here.
An economical option.
I love the 6-pack today.
That brings
he let us.
efficiency.
Yes,
That was only one. He only
you
got
let
one
us
thing.
on this, and let's follow through with this.
So let's go to
this. Is what we're doing.
So let's
Give
go.
us your other
Yes.
19.
No, I'm not giving you the 19. Ken's got a top 5 list that I enjoy.
So that was 2 free agents, Ryan Fitzpatrick
Yes.
and Teddy Bridgewater, that I'd be happy to go after. I don't think Bridgewater's going to be in our budget. I think Fitzpatrick will. That being said, you're going to have Nick Foles. You're going to have Tyrod Taylor. You're going to have.
Well, there's no Nick Foles.
No, not for the Redskins. Not for the Redskins.
Tyrod's not necessarily demanding top dollar these days either.
And Joe Flacco hit that move, caused the team to be quarterback. Let's see. You got.
I like Tyrod's toughness. He's he can fit the mold. See,
Slightly
Fitzpatrick's that
local guy,
gunslinger.
Josh McCown was the other free agent.
Yeah.
The fact that he's going to get a contract from somebody to play somewhere is crazy, but he probably will. Yeah. And that does not yet talk about guys like
TV, actually.
Bortles or Tannehill.
Stop. I have them next to each other.
All I'm saying is, again, I'm talking about inventory.
I could definitely see us.
Inventory is the proper term.
I could see us ending up with a Bortles. And it being just as bad as it was in Jacksonville.
I purposely kept that off of the six pack
It would be like shit.
I love Bortles. I'm not going to call for it right now.
If it's Bortles, I'm doing the podcast. You have to cut a hole here, and you have to do the serving dish and pull it out, and then I'll talk every 2 minutes.
I think he was a warrior. I think that the players that played with him loved him. I really do. As a person, I'm saying.
That's adorable.
He doesn't have it.
Don't stop now.
He just doesn't have it.
Yeah,
there's a Huggies commercial.
No, I think those players in Jacksonville loved him. He was a tough quarterback. I mean,
he is a tough quarterback. He's still alive.
He did shit that quarterbacks don't do. That gains respect from other players. But I just don't think he.
Hold on. Let's not. None of us are advocating for Bortles.
No. I know that.
But let's go to the other way. Another way that we're not drafting somebody. Because we're not signing a free agent, then we're trading for somebody. The trade market is not robust. Case Keenum is now a hot name for trading for him. I think I made the point that I thought Case Keenum would be perfect for our long line of Case Keenum type quarterback. I made the case that if we're going to trade for somebody, that Nick Mullins would have been a trade candidate, and that's actually something that we talked about as a group on our podcast text chain. Here's the thing about Nick Mullins. He's going to make $570,000 next year.
I know nothing about him.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
He went to Southern Miss. He started for Kyle Shanahan's 49ers.
I know that.
That's
it.
Of Brett Favre's records. And he played, I think, 7 games last year. Yeah. 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
For Kyle.
And you know what?
What has he done at this level?
Started in 7 games last year.
He came on for
about
260,
270 a game. Won a couple. I think he threw for 400 yards once.
Yes.
I think he threw for 300 another time. Right around the 270 mark. Not huge numbers. 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, I believe. But
a gritty,
the whole
unheralded guy.
Yeah. And listen, C.J. Beathard was the backup. When Garoppolo went down with the injury and the prostitute, it was a double-edged sword. And C.J. Beathard, the nephew of our own Hall of Fame, who we thought maybe we'd be able to, and all of a sudden this guy, who a lot of people raised their hand and said, "Who is this guy?"
I like C.J.
Me too. Yeah. And that's the reason why I think. And the man just walked in at the right time because I know he was reaching out on social media today for some answers, and he's got us talking about Nick Mullins. And you know what?
That's Kevin McClinton.
This is but I think what Ken said made the most sense. The fact that his contract for the next year is almost $500,000.
That in and of itself
so
brings
attractive.
him to the table. Now,
that's why they'll never trade him.
But
they'll never trade him.
Why would you trade
but if you have CJ sitting right
good
there,
enough,
you don't have to trade anything for anything. But you know, if you can get a draft pick, the draft picks are so coveted. If that 6th round draft choice, or Juice even mentioned a possible 5th,
comes back,
depending on our market, what we need.
I think get value out of him.
The 49ers have a guy that
value out of him.
49ers have a guy who started for them, and he's making $570,000 next year.
Value to give
to back up Colt McCoy.
How much are they going to ask for? I have a guy who just started 7 games for me, who's going to make $570,000 next year. That guy's worth a mountain of gold to me.
Of course. But is he worth one of your 2/5 or your 6th?
Oh, I don't even think that's even. I think it's going to be way better than that.
That's nuts, though.
I know, but it's a guy because they know we think we're adding a guy.
See, that's the worst part.
Because
that's the worst part. You have
that's
Shanahan sitting there holding the He-Man sword, ready to just crush.
People were like,
Snyder.
"Oh, you think you're going to pay your starter next year $570,000?" I'm like, "Yes."
He's like John Lynch. John Lynch, watch this. Hey, John Lynch, watch what I do to Dan Snyder. Watch this. Hey, put it on speakerphone. I know exactly. Tee it up. Let him
Anyone
crush
you would
it.
trade for?
The trade market. Listen, not who I think is available. Listen, Daniel Jones is a guy. We'll get into the draft, but
Yeah.
when they say his comp is Tannehill, it makes me want to puke. Because
you
you know who I don't want? Tannehill. I don't want to make that trade. You know what? A name that's been rumored around here. Forget about the Case Keenums. AJ McCarron somehow over the last 2.5 years has been linked up with us in previous quarterback struggles, and certainly during this one. And you take a peek at an A.J. McCarron who is semi-functional, I believe, but here's my problem. Here's why Josh Johnson made us look great. We were down to our 6th and 7th guards, and he was able to get out of the pocket and make a few things happen. That's not McCarron's skilo. That's not how he rolls. I don't think we need a statue guy if we're going to get a guy. Colt McCoy's got some escapability. He's crafty in the pocket. Is he a scrambling quarterback at this age? No. But he has some mobility, which gives us a chance.
Wasn't Jay the coach wasn't he the offensive coordinator at Cincinnati when they drafted A.J. McCarron?
I think it was too late. I think it was
1 year.
here.
Yeah.
I think he was here because I saw him get drafted and French kiss his girlfriend on the draft for like a half an hour.
Catherine
I
Webb.
mean, Kuiper liked it. McShay didn't.
Musburger loved it.
Yeah, Musburger certainly enjoyed it.
He was
Bravo.
ankles.
Yeah. I mean, Musburger's. I like his. He was being honest.
He was being
He's a
very
throwback.
honest.
Hey, in 1982, you could say that all day long. It was a little different era, and people got a little freaked out, and it's fine. It's
It's all
fine.
good. It's all good.
He meant she was a lovely young lady.
Yes.
Yes.
Aspire to that.
You're
T,
so cute. I'm gonna kiss you.
We're
right
not signing a free agent, and we're not trading for somebody, but we're going to draft someone now.
I think that is the only scenario.
Only thing you're going for is draft.
I just don't. I don't see one of the other two really working out.
now.
Okay.
That's where I agree with you. I don't
That's fine.
see.
I really don't.
That is fine, man.
You get a rookie contract. You get a guy that may or may not make it.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a Tom Brady.
Total lottery
The
ticket.
unknown.
Who
The
fucking
unknown
knows?
is crazy.
Maybe you get a Tom Brady in the 6th.
But hold on, your boy
Who knows?
Dwayne Haskins right now is at the top of a lot of lists.
I don't want him.
I'm with you here.
No offense.
I'm not saying
Not
I don't want
personal.
him, but I'm agreeing with
No offense, not personal.
every one
One,
of these top 4
He's not going to be
quarterbacks.
available, so we're going to have to move up, which means that we're going to have to trade some other spots. So that
I don't think we can afford to
that's
fall
not
in love with
happening.
anyone.
No,
T.
you can't. You're not going to get him. You're not getting Haskins. You're not getting any of the top 3.
So before you,
All right,
before you,
you're messing with maybe a little. You're flirting with
In
4
the
and
top
5.
15, we could. No,
Some
well, there's
people are
4.
saying- some people
There's
are saying-
4.
You're flirting with 4 or 5, right? You're flirting with 4 or 5. I don't think you necessarily are making a great choice if you're taking a 4 or 5. You're better off taking a guy way later down the road.
would you take Kyler Murray?
No. No.
Kyler Murray is the only man that gave me hope on this list.
Yeah.
Listen, you
I
guys
just-
know. All right, my dad played football at Duke. You know I'm supposed to come out here and say Daniel Jones this, Daniel Jones that. He's coached by Cutcliffe. You wrote about it. He has got the body type. He has got the ceiling. That ain't going to be for 2 or 3 years, gentlemen, if it ever happens, and that's my opinion. I feel the same way about Dwayne Haskins, and you look around and you see the fact that Dwayne Haskins played in a spread offense. So did Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's he's a unicorn. Get him out of that conversation. Haskins threw for 50 and 8 with 3 receivers that have all had 1,000-yard careers and an offense coach and an Urban Meyer coached offense where he was the focal point. They talk about
padded by some really cupcakes.
I think so, T. And you brought that to my attention.
Not
The
exclusive.
Big Ten isn't a padding, but that was the best passing attack in the Big Ten times 20.
Yeah.
Everyone had to change one. You play the same defense 90% of the season. All of a sudden, the most talent comes in. They run a little bit something different. Yeah, they had a little bit of an advantage. Also, he is very talented. I just don't believe he's the guy that helps right away. I just don't. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust. I'm not. But Daniel Jones and him are very scary because their ceilings are kind of create their first roundedness, especially his numbers were ridiculous. Kyler Murray, take him out of the equation. Drew Lock, they see, is an introvert. He never speaks. They call him a nerd. I love
Luck.
nerds. I love
Luck.
nerds. Look,
I like Luck. I like him
I
a lot.
don't know, man.
They say
Just
the
skill set.
He's my
footwork.
least
They say
favorite.
the footwork of all 3 of them coming into the league has been described as horrendous. So here's my thing.
That,
Our
for me, is a
Band-Aid
huge
is a
problem.
what, an 18-month
That for me is a
Band-Aid?
huge problem.
From right now, a 20-month
Yeah,
Band-Aid.
two seasons.
Yeah, well, we don't have
See,
20 months for those guys.
You've acknowledged
draft
this, Kevin.
scares me,
You've
yeah.
acknowledged this. I think in this day and age, you can get a guy late who has the footwork, who has the body type, who has the arm strength, may not have gone to the best college or the most prominent program that you can get that can become that guy in the NFL. I think that's where Redskins' best
All
shot
right. Well, here's what I'm going to say. to
Hey,
you.
and most likely
quick
shot is.
Shout
I
out.
agree.
Congratulations to the Maryland Terrapins. They have won on the road.
Whoa.
It happened. Maryland beats Iowa on the road.
A right team.
66-65.
The streak has been broken.
I know not everyone's Maryland Terrapins fans, but we are. We're in Maryland, so.
Let me just say this,
We're
T.
in the DMV,
I've
bro.
agreed with you about this forever. Sorry to skip over.
No,
I'm very
please.
happy for Cowan and the boys.
I don't have names. But
Because
you can do that.
because here's the problem. I don't think there is any.
It might not be.
This particular year of quarterbacks. Well, I don't know what year they were born, but the big man upstairs, whoever's big man upstairs is, or whoever decides on who's who,
And if there's not-
did not bless the universe with quarterbacks.
And if there's
this
not-
year,
I don't think going after one in the first round is the right idea. And the alternative is roll it with Colt McCoy and Johnson. Just roll it for this
I'm
year.
going to roll with Colt.
Yeah, we
I
need
don't
to
know
be better
about rolling
Josh.
with Johnson because if Colt gets hurt, it's Johnson and what do? Bring back in old
Are
sandwich
we any
chest?
worse than we were last year?
Yes.
I want to make
No,
sure.
we're not.
T.
You're not any worse.
I think we are.
T.
You're not any worse.
T. Colt got hurt right away, and we never had a chance after the worst leg breaking ever of all time.
Are you any worse?
So here's the deal. Yeah, that's asking like, is there anything worse than being the devil? Is there a worse thing? I don't know.
No, there's not
I know
anything
what you're
to be
saying,
devil.
but I want to make sure that we have at least a Colt McCoy, Ryan Fitzpatrick situation. I think that's my aim here. Trust me, I'm not shooting for the stars. Neither is Ken, neither are you. We're all on the same page here. None of us have the freaking answer. We're
I
sitting
think
here
we're trying to
talking
stay
through it.
super under the radar for another 2 seasons. My draft thoughts are if we get to the draft without having traded for anyone, without having signed a free agent, I think Daniel Jones is the guy that I want. I think between now and the draft, Daniel Jones is going to be the player that everyone falls in love with from a quarterback perspective, because that's what happens every single year. Somebody gets totally pumped up. Someone falls in love with all the Daniel Cutcliffe, the size, the prototype arm strength.
He looks exactly like Peyton Manning in the pocket.
Yep. And he's
don't-
going to
don't-
vault up someone's board, and we're not even going to
But-
sniff that guy.
But he's this is a game of 3-card Monty.
I know.
And you have to make sure that and I just know this. If Alex Smith was healthy and we were to draft a Daniel Jones, it would be marvelous. Or Dwayne
Yeah,
Haskins.
I know.
And I just don't want to crap on these guys.
Whoever we draft, I
I'm
think is going to have to play at some point.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
year.
That's what I'm saying. I think it would be rude to have anyone, Drew Lock, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, to ask them to step in and play quarterback in this offense
Right now.
Right now.
Well,
I think
if
it would
you're
be-
out
it
there,
would be
I know
detrimental
Kyler
to
Murray watches our
everyone.
show. Murray watches our show.
But he's
for
the only one that
sure.
gives me hope. The only problem with
Drew
him
Lock
is you have to
does.
redo your whole entire offense, because how do you have Kyler Murray as your starter and then Colt McCoy as your backup? What you have to switch your offense.
Oh no,
It's sun, moon,
you
and
come into the
stars.
season with Colt
I
McCoy,
don't
and then he gets hurt in
dude,
week
Colt
4.
McCoy, no. Kyler Murray needs an offense that is devoted to his 5'10", 4'2", 840ness.
Colt McCoy's not 6'7",
This
and
is
he's a mover.
this is this is a different ball game. This is the fastest quarterback that will ever run a time.
I don't want Kyler Murray in the first place.
But
I've
he's
already
got
made
a
that clear.
rifle cannon. He's got all these weird tools. But he's
Which
not,
sprint was he faster than RG3 in?
Kyler. So
well, he hasn't
in my
run
opinion,
in 2.5 years.
Okay.
He ran a baseball. He ran whatever the heck it was for the A's.
baseball showcase, or
And
something.
he actually said to his coach Lincoln. He said, "Coach, I haven't run it in like some years. People keep asking me. I haven't run it." And he said, "Don't."
Don't
So-
do it. I love it. I choose not
Right,
to race.
right.
Seinfeld
Look,
style.
Then Lincoln went ahead
no
and said,
offense to Kyler Murray.
he'll be the fastest quarterback in the history of
No
the NFL.
offense to Kyler
Second's
Murray.
not close.
The Redskins is the exact spot a guy like Kyler Murray will go and fail.
You could say that about
Hold
anybody.
on. So
have
here's
something
my
about
only
everybody.
my only thing to you is we played our 6th string and 7th string guards last year. If Kyler Murray catches the ball and has the escapability of, say, a Russell Wilson with the ability to not take
He's
hits,
not Michael
like a Russell,
Westbrook.
No, Russell Wilson, I said.
He's not Russell Wilson either.
Oh, he's quicker and faster than Russell Wilson and smaller. All those three things are true. With a rifle
The
team.
first two are good. The last one is not.
No, it's not. No quarterback's ever been drafted in the first round at this height ever. They're hoping it's 5'10". He's like, I didn't know 5'8". Whatever it is.
I'm hoping he's 5'9".
He is a dynamic athlete
at 5'9".
that I'm just saying we're not going to develop him into the superstar of the future, but a guy that could make our offense go if we focused on our defense and had him be the playmaker-ish guy that didn't mess it up. He gives me more. Stop real quick. I'm not saying he's an A+ and I'm so happy and I want him. I'm saying he is the only turd in the bowl that floats to the top. As far as the Redskins go, because he could be a superstar.
I'll
He's a
just say,
superstar
I
athlete.
think Daniel Jones is bobbing around in there as well.
Right, I hear you.
He's bobbing around.
Look. As long as
We'll see.
and I'm not degrading these guys.
None
I'm
of
just
this
saying.
makes me happy.
Me
I know.
neither.
I know.
No.
Me.
But we're
neither.
gonna work our way through it. Let's cut it off there. Let's come back next week. We'll find another
You
position.
cut it off after the turd ball.
Let's
conversation.
stop right
Yeah.
there, and we'll bring it
That
back
was
here.
you had enough.
We'll bring it back here, then we'll take it over there.
I apologize.
We're coming back
about the turd bowl conversation.
No, it's a turd bowl. The Redskins, they've made that their natural habitat
This
over
is
the years.
this whole thing is a turd platter
Well, it is a turd
that the Redskins
platter.
are dealing with. Right
But
now.
maybe
Poo-poo platter?
the phoenix rises from the turd ashes. Maybe somebody makes their bones in a bowl.
of turds.
Thank you for finishing
Johnson.
that for me.
We'll be back next week, and I'm not even going to promise you a
Maybe.
turd-free episode.
Johnson
Maybe
might be the
33% less.
Johnson might be the best turd we got.
and also for free.
You want to find turds? Draft a quarterback in the 6th round.
He's
You're
Tim
gonna
Strachan.
You need an extra Costco Charmin.
The word of the night is turd.
Yeah,
If
sorry.
you haven't figured that out.
He's Kevin Ricka.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping Doug Williams can be the greatest turd burglar in the DMV.
Can he unretire?
Who knows?
We're
But
going
he's
to
gonna-
minimize all
He's the only
burgling
man
of
that gives
turds.
me hope.
Until next Tuesday night, I'm Ken Maragolo, and this was the Audible.
I might like
James,
that.
tell us what position to talk about next week.
I might like that.
We're still live.
Doug Williams comes
Still
out
live.
of retirement.
The only 313-pound quarterback.
40-some-year-old.
Available?
Yeah.
Is that the problem?